What we do in our basic design class, they'll come in, I scan myself just to see if it works, see if it's still working. They're gonna start in a few minutes and we can do some demonstration. You can watch them do it, and if you wanna try it, look at what's in there. And then the software looks for a body. It looks for this particular thing, because I tried to work with forensics to scan a skull and and all that kind of thing, or scan bones or whatever. And we can scan them and we can capture them, but the software doesn't represent them here. In actuality, you can take this RBD file and do it as a in virtual reality. You can go and pull it in where this is not actually three-dimensional. So we've got studies going on several things, but one of the main studies we have right now is with communication. Is once someone is scanned and part of the group doesn't see themselves, but part of the group does, and part of the group can sit here and look at themselves, and what do they say? What are the words they use? Most of the time is, that's not me, but I can tell you that's me, right? They go, that's not me, is it? You know, I don't, and most of the time nobody's ever seen themselves like that.
That's true.
Right? You've never seen yourself from there, right? Wow, I didn't know I looked like that. Of course, I got my clothes on and everything. There's scan protocol in here that you can read up on what you wear once you actually start scanning. But that's basically the 3D point cloud. But then what makes this thing, to me, it's its greatest asset and worst liability. And I'll explain in a little bit why I think it's a worst liability. I can go up here to ASTM Size USA. Y'all know ASTM Size USA. They have a certain MEP, measurement extraction profile is what they do. They extract certain measurements from all this data, and if we're part of the Size USA data, then we add into the database, and it's all floating around all over the place. But all you do is you select your extraction profile, like there's a men's suit, Size USA, TC squared style. Most of the time, there's a body fitness one that it's pretty close to calculating BMI and things like that. But this is Size USA MEP. You just touch extract and it pulls out everything that Size USA wants. That's the only thing that they want. So if you notice my collar, you got to be in something tight, but not restrictive as to change your body form. Especially when you're fitting clothing. Unless you're fitting underwear, right? I did some research out in, it's weird, it's kind of a weird thing to say, because I usually work with, most of the time it's females that I'm working with. I worked with one of our professors out there worked with Nike on designing sports bras and support. And we were walking down, we were going to lunch one day and we were all discussing it, and all three of us, there were two ladies and me, and we're going down going, well, you get this movement and you got to be able, because she had a motion capture thing that we would scan, and then she could do the motion capture, and we're like, well, maybe we ought not be doing that out in public, That's just, it's like, so, I tell people when they come in, you kind of lose modesty in here. If you're in the fashion business, you lose modesty anyway.
Are those the points that you use to compare when your students are comparing measurements, or is that how you decide?
I can export this as just the raw file. One thing that we found that we can't really export on each one is this. You have to scan them and print it out. And we haven't figured that out yet. I don't know why they don't give you that option to. On a onesie-twosie basis, it's not that bad, but when you start working with 1,000 scans and comparing, then that pretty much. But here's what you can do is batch process, and it has a setup to where well, we can extract the measurements, generate an ORD file, create a virtual fashion, don't want an avatar, you can print the results. Oh, there we go. Create or save an RBD. save a RBD as a VRML, as an OBJ, which that's what a lot of,
OBJ, we can use an OBJ.
you can export this file as an OBJ and then save it and then pull it in others.
Come in like a shoe, not like an avatar.
Right.
So it's not ABA would be ideal, but
Okay, and there may be software out there now that can extract these things. I've got some folks looking at some stuff.
You wanna do it,
All right, you can move. That was so much faster than I thought it would be.
I'm gonna make sure I save this.
We don't want to.
I don't know, we're wondering. Oh, maybe it's on your other sheet.
Enhance. Scan legs, they make them custom and all that. April 23rd. Where's the stop? They're at 349. Hey, they got the gravity.
I love its mirrors. We need mirrors.
There's all kinds of. Look at that. Man, somebody donated that's a Marine uniform right there, boy.
Are you already getting on that project?